I wanted to talk about my experiences as a killer main joining this year, and I just want to go ahead and say that, honestly, it hasn't been that bad. I joined this game 2 months ago, and I have since sunk quite a bit of hours into it, but it's honestly not even that much for Dead by Daylight. Also, you guys gotta remember, it takes quite a while to queue up for killer matches. So when I first joined this game, I didn't really know what any of the killers did, and I didn't know any survivor perks. I'd seen a few people play the game before, but I didn't know everything about it. The main thing I did know before starting is that I was absolutely going to be a killer main. Now, the videos I did watch it were mostly negative things, talking about the toxic community and stuff like that, but I just gotta say I was interested regardless. They couldn't pull me off of it. I had also heard that the game was heavily survivor-sided, so I thought it would take me a long time to get my first win, which at the time I'd only consider a win to be a 4K. Now I'm a little more on the fence about that. So my first ever match went about as well as you'd expect. I only got a 1K at like the very, very end, and that was only because I hooked them. I was playing Hillbilly and I brought Lightborn because I thought flashlights were base kit. I didn't know anything about held items, so they were a big stressor for me, but only one of them brought flashlights, and I'm pretty sure the one who did is the one who I killed. So I think, if I remember correctly, it took me about 7 matches to get my first 4K, so that's not even that bad. Now what made me especially excited is that I got a 4K the very next match as well. So, I mean, I felt like I finally was getting somewhere with Killer. I was hyped, I was happy. After a while, I had enough iridescent shards to buy a new killer. Now this felt like a really big decision. At the time, I wasn't worried about perks or anything like that, but there were just so many killers, and I knew it would be a long time before I got another one, so I had to make sure I made the right decision. I ended up going with Knight, because he's a knight, he summons, and he's a knight, all things that I like, clearly. Now, I was well aware at the time that Dead by Daylight was far from a perfect game. But the DLCs were on sale at the time I bought it as well, so shortly after buying it, I bought my first DLC. Since then, I haven't been the same. I have not been the same, but I needed the lit. I needed them. After playing for longer and longer, getting more killers, some of my matches started getting pretty difficult, especially with Doctor. I mean, every match with Doctor was starting to feel like a fight for my actual life. Now, I could just blame the game's balance for my losing, but I mean, I am well aware that I am terrible with Doctor, and I know Doctor ain't even that powerful, but I am just especially not good with him. So, I looked up some guides and kept trying to practice Doctor. Also, I realize it's bad making this video about the new killer experience not really being that bad during the Black Banquet event, where it very much is bad to play killer. At least for me. Now, when I was new, there were some perks that kind of threw me off. Like the first time someone ever used Decisive Strike, or if you're new like me, I guess Will to Live. First time someone ever used that on me, I didn't know what was happening. I had no idea how they immediately escaped my grasp. I thought it might have been an exploit or something. And then someone used Deception on me, and I thought they were just disappearing into lockers. Though thankfully the survivor running it was nice and told me how he was doing that when I asked in the endgame chat. Now when I was new, I didn't want to focus too much on survivor perks, because I was scared I'd fall into a trap where every time I'd lose I'd just blame it on the survivor's perks. Though, I can't deny some of them are pretty crazy in what they do. Especially now that there's this new survivor coming out, there are some pretty overpowered perks. Then there are also killer perks. Now there are like over 41 killers and over 140 killer perks. I'm not doing the math, but you can probably get a general idea of how many combinations that is. And you know, sometimes it's a little worrisome. Sometimes you may think that you're only losing because you brought a bad perk build. And also, I think it's terrible that so many perks for some of your favorite killers may be locked exclusively behind a paywall, or I guess the Shrine of Secrets. And I gotta say, when it comes to perks, that's definitely the worst part of Killer. You gotta memorize a bunch of survivor perks, and if you want to make good builds, you might need to fork up some money. Now this is a big problem, but that's why I'm saying that my experience hasn't been that bad. But without this, I'd say it's overall been a great experience. was only after I got Dead by Daylight that I learned about the whole invisible survival rulebook thing. And, you know, I mean, I get it, I've played games before where people would have playstyles or use weapons that were just far too overpowered, and it got annoying. So when I heard about the invisible rulebook, I did what I think anyone should do. I looked over it, I threw it away. You see, as killer, you don't have teammates to worry about. You are your team, and you make all of the decisions, you make all of the calls. If you want to play so sweaty that you are gasping for air after your matches, be my guest. If you don't want to kill anybody and just mess around with the survivors and let them all escape, be my guest. Now, a lot of people may say you're playing the game wrong if you do certain things to try and win, such as tunneling or slugging, but it's your game. You are the killer of the match. If you want to tunnel them out one by one or leave them all bleeding, you can do that. They may find it annoying, but they're not your teammates. Now, I don't agree with all these strategies, such as hard tunneling someone at the start of the game. It's boring for me, and it's frustrating for them. But if I were to see someone else doing that, maybe I'd be a little annoyed, but I'm not blaming them for that. They're just trying to win at the end of the day. Moving on to Toxicity. I've faced my fair share of toxicity. I like a lot of killers that are less popular with survivors, such as the Twins and the Knight. And also a lot of survivors don't like the way I play. For example, I've had many matches where I'll kill someone significantly earlier than anyone else. But I'm not trying to tunnel them, it's just that they're doing generators right off of hook when I have no idea where anyone else is. And if people are just going to stay grouped up the entire match, or prevent me from hooking them, then I'll just leave them all on the ground and slug them. But I'll still hook them when they're all down, because I'm not trying to hold the match hostage. For me, I've never really minded toxicity in the endgame chat. I'm not saying people should do that, because you don't want to make this game any more toxic, but when people are saying toxic things in the endgame chat, I usually screenshot it and move on with my day. Really, it doesn't matter what these people say in the endgame chat, because no matter how you play, someone's going to have a problem with it. You could play as nicely as possible, but if you win, someone's going to have a problem with that. Or you could play friendly and someone's going to have a problem with that. So, just play how you want to play. And if someone complains about that, move on. Also, if you play this on Steam, you should really change your account settings to only allow friends to leave comments, otherwise they're going to get a flood of salty people, you know, leaving hate comments on your profile and all that. I made this video because I wanted to put out a new perspective on Dead by Daylight for new killer mains, and also I'm hoping it could maybe help out some other new killer mains in one way or another. Despite its many flaws, I still have a lot of fun playing Dead by Daylight, more specifically playing Dead by Daylight Killer. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, because I try and post a short or a long form video, mostly a short, every day. Also, it just helps me out a ton. If you didn't like this video, tell me why in the comments. I'm looking to improve, because I know this video is, just like the game, far from perfect. If you're still here, let me give you a little bonus tip. If you're ever getting really tilted while playing Killer, you should turn on your favorite music and play. It is a really great experience. Also, if you're wondering about my match, I did actually get the 4K. Wish you got a second hook state, I can kill him now. Awesome.